It is Friday night. You're swiping on dating apps. You hit your daily limit, and there are 0 matches waiting for you. So you open Instagram. You check the story of the girl you have been orbiting for a year. She's at a bar, leaning into a guy who treats her like an afterthought, the type who leaves her on delivered for half the day. Meanwhile, you're at home after doing everything society told you to do. You got the degree, the stable job, and you text her back within minutes while listening to her complain about guys exactly like the one she is with. You sit there staring at the screen, wondering why you're still invisible after following the approved script step by step. In this system, you have become a free attention dispenser, a safe, sexless backup option for someone else's first choice. The frustration is not because the dating market is broken. It is operating with cold efficiency. The blue pill is the old dating script. The belief that compliance, niceness, and stable provision will eventually turn into a matched partner. That strategy worked 60 years ago because the environment supported it. Tight communities, religion, geography, and family structures did a lot of the pairing for people. The system handled selection for the individual. But that world disappeared. Dating apps destroyed local boundaries and turned dating into a hyper-liquid market. Without social enforcement, the market starts filtering through raw sexual market value. Safe provider traits get bypassed by attention flow. The painful realization is that the system may approve of you as a stable resource, but it does not automatically crave you as a partner. Once social structures stop forcing choices, biology takes over. After enough rejection, the blue pill conditioning breaks and the ego snaps. This usually triggers the red pill phase. It is a reactionary overcorrection where the guy obsesses over fake dominance, status chasing, and physical optimization to beat the game. There are useful parts here. This phase can force men off the couch and into the gym. It turns stagnation into action, but underneath it there is usually a shame wound, a feeling of inadequacy that pushes the guy to build a hypermasculine shell to hide his defects. But that shell leaks. Women can sense the hidden grievance underneath the fitness and hustle. The anger ruins the self-improvement it was supposed to showcase. The red pill fails because its pursuit of value is still driven by revenge against the market, leaving the guy fitter, wealthier, and emotionally ungrounded. The next breaking point happens when the red pill tactics, the lifting, and the grinding still fail to secure the level of options the guy wanted. This leads to the black pill, a descent into genetic determinism where every failure gets blamed on unchangeable hardware like facial structure or height. This worldview uses real data about the brutal nature of dating algorithms. It shows that top-tier genetics create a massive head start in a digital-first market. It also targets the physical adequacy wound, the belief that specific flaws like height, hairline, or face structure filter you out before you even get to speak. The flaw is the total lack of nuance. It projects a depressive state onto the entire world where anything short of genetic perfection becomes a reason to quit completely. Blaming genetics becomes a defense mechanism. If the game is rigged at the DNA level, your ego never has to face the terror of trying your hardest and still falling short. This is the cycle of failure. The blue pill ignores the market. The red pill fights the market. The black pill drowns in it. To survive a deregulated dating era, you need the clear pill, a post-nihilist worldview. You keep the self-improvement of the red pill without the bitterness, and you accept the harsh data of the black pill without the surrender. Through an economic lens, you are a product that has to meet a market threshold to be viable. Avoid perfectionism by building a minimum viable product. This is the entry baseline. Consistent hygiene, basic fitness, and non-abrasive social skills. Once that baseline is handled, you move to marketing. Better photos, better presentation, and better visibility so the product can actually be seen by potential buyers. When you remove the emotional weight of anger and depression, you free up the mental energy needed to optimize what you can control. And if you do not have universal mass market appeal, you use a niche strategy. You optimize for the specific subset of demand where your archetype is naturally valued. Look at high-profile pairings like Lana Del Rey and her swamp guide husband. He is not a polished Hollywood elite, but he leans into a rugged contrast that fits exactly what someone in her world might crave. This is where we replace just be yourself with authenticity theory. Real connection requires stripping away insecurity over time until the actual self becomes visible. You also account for proximity and convenience. Consistent presence in a real local environment can sometimes beat the raw rating scale of an algorithm. On the surface, a clear pill man looks chill and socially normal. Internally, he operates with detached awareness of the game being played. Uncouple your ego from the market's validation. Stop negotiating with a romanticized world that does not exist. To succeed in this era, you have to accept the reality of biological optimization. Drop the cope, drop the anger, and trade effectively in the market that actually exists.